Well, hola, hola. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope everybody's day is off to a decent start, halfway through. I wanted to start today by just giving you kind of an overview of things now that I have more of an overview of things, because we kind of got the schedule for final exams this morning. And if you haven't seen it yet, it is very much like a normal final exam schedule. So if you're not new to North Central, you kind of already have the gist of it. And if you are new, you'll get the information, I'm sure, soon if you haven't already. But basically, so we have this week where we're working on vocab and we're working on SARE and EAR. Okay, we will continue working on those. We've been working on them pretty hard the last few days. Next week, we will be working on the speaking portion of your final exam. So that means on Monday, I will give you some information that you can start preparing yourself for that speaking final. And then we'll kind of practice it Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday, you'll be meeting with me individually and presenting, answering some questions for me in Spanish. So that is what we're working towards next week. Then the following week is officially finals week. The setup is on Monday, you will have your period 2 final and meet with everybody 4 through 10. So that means we will not meet. So our last meeting day before your final would be the week before. And then let's see, for me, you would have my final on the Tuesday. There'll be some time built in for studying, and then we will do the written part of your final. And I'll give you way more details about it, but that's kind of where we're headed. So that being said, I've asked you to get your cameras on, to come to class, to get your missing work done. There's not too many points left up for grabs, but there's some. We'll give you a participation grade this week. You will have a quiz on Friday. You had kind of your last little homework last night, and then I have one more little review activity for you at the end of the week in your textbook, but we're sort of starting to wrap things up. So that's why you need to get your focus. You need to get me any missing work that you still haven't given me. I've given you loads of opportunities to do that. And I still, would take things. So if you still need to get me something, get it for me. Most recently, I put in your vocab grade and your crossword puzzle. So if you are missing either of those, for sure, get them to me. And anything else from this 9 weeks that you still didn't quite get to, feel free to get me that. So let's see if we can get these grades up just a little bit more going into finals. All right. I want you to be here next semester. But if you fail first semester, you do not get to continue with Spanish. So please make sure that you are doing everything within your power to avoid that. The last reminder is that after this class from 10:30 to 11, Tuesday through Friday, you now have kind of a little free time / student support time. So if you need to meet with me or any of your other teachers during that time, do it. Take advantage of that time. All right. I love that it's built into the day and you have every ability to reach out to any teachers that you need to, that you're not doing well in their class, and say, hey, can you help me? What can I do? What can I turn in? How do I do something? So you should take advantage of that. It's right after this class. So this class ends at 10:25, and then that starts from 10:30 to 11. All right. So those are kind of all my announcements and where we're headed and that kind of stuff. If you have any questions about anything, obviously feel free to ask or put it in the chat, and I will certainly get to that. Otherwise, today I want to keep going with vocab and SARE and EAR. Hopefully you are starting to feel decent about those things. I cannot make you use your time wisely, but if you've been using it, we did a Nearpod on Monday. We did a bunch of vocab stuff yesterday. We've done Quizlet time. Today we're going to do some Quizlet live. Tonight your homework is just Quizlet. Okay, so keep working on it. You do that, you will be in good shape for Friday. You don't, it's not going to go well. All right. So stay focused, and here we go. So vamos a jugar. We're going to play a little Quizlet, and puedes usar la lista de vocabulario. All right. Entonces saquen la lista de vocabulario. Pull it up, get it out wherever it is. Find it. It should be posted somewhere. If you just posted it under assignments, you can look for vocab 3A, or you can find it in your Google Drive or wherever else you might have it. So I would certainly suggest getting that out while I get your game up. All right. Plan for some participation points. I will say that at the end of the week, I will give you one last participation grade. And I would say maybe like 15 points. It'll probably be a bigger grade. So make sure you are participating. All right. I do not have this open. So let me reopen it. Give you a chance to find your vocab list. All right, I would expect you to be ready to sign up. All right, there you go. Sign up, please. Thanks, Noah, Lamaya, and Morgan. There's Nora, Jacob, Charles, Lissa, thanks. I'll let you do. There you go. Oh, good, Haley. I'm glad you got it. All right, I'm looking for maybe 2 or 3 more people. There's one. Get on if you can. If you're having Wi-Fi problems or whatever, keep trying. I think I'm waiting for 2 more people. Anybody still trying to get on? I'm not going to wait forever. Oh, Haley, I see your message, but it looks like you're on, so I guess you're good. All right, I'm starting. Unless anybody tells me you're having a problem, let me know. Put it in the chat real quick. Otherwise, we're starting. You can still start late, but. All righty, here we go. Round 1. Buena suerte.
What is that?
Still looking. Imagine broken parts and their team moves one.
What is this game? Someone just got back to 0. How'd you get back to 0?
I missed one.
That girl had. Is that a girl or a boy?
What's a
who has-
group of people? It's a group of people.
No, the one who had 6.
It's a group of people. My daughter's very interested in the game.
Oh,
Rough. Rough for the Stingrays. Bring it back. It's still anybody's game. Toros, Jirafas, Orcas. There come the T-Rex. You never know in this game. Is this a break for you? All right, Toros taking a little lead. Can they finish it? Yes, they can. Nice work, Tucker. And Nora. And Victoria. Solid. All right, let's do a little vocab practice. Let's see. Fue. This is one of the verbs we're working on. Went or was. You got to know that by Friday. Fuimos. We went or we were. Los patines are skates. Pagar kind of sounds like pay. To pay, it's a gar verb. La estación de servicio sounds like a service station. That's another word for a gas station. And of course, gasolina, that looks a lot like gas. El correo, got to know that word, post office. It's one of our important places that we're working on. Por is just for. They're both little words. They almost look alike. I bet you can remember that one. El sello is a stamp. Okay, got to remember that one. At least they both start with S. El supermercado, I think, is super easy. And la carta, okay, it doesn't look like a letter, but it kind of looks like a card. So maybe that'll help you remember that. All right, we're gonna play a game. Let me shuffle it up here. And actually, I'm just gonna put this down real quick. I don't need to record. I feel like your vocab is coming along. Obviously, continue to work on it. Your homework tonight is Quizlet, so nothing besides practice, practice, practice. Spend 15 minutes. Make sure you get 10 new words and review the other words that hopefully you already know. All right, we are going to take a brief break from vocab and work on these verbs that we've been talking about this week. Somebody want to raise your hand real quick and tell me what does the verb ser mean? And then my follow-up question will be, what does the verb ir mean? Quentin, want to tell us ser?
To be.
To be. So now we're going to look at it in the past tense. So instead of be, how's that going to translate? Somebody else want to tell me? Because you wouldn't say I be. If you want to say the past tense, you would say I. Who's got it?
Am.
Deja?
Was.
Yeah, I was, you were. He or she was, we were, they were. Okay, so it's was or were. Good. All right. So my follow-up question is ear. What does ear mean? Nora?
Is it to go?
To go. So in the preterite or past tense, somebody tell me, what is it going to be? I blank, you blank. Not go, but who's got it? Reddick?
Went.
Went. Perfect. All right. So those are the two verbs we're focused on. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to find a little scrap of paper somewhere. And let's see if you can jot any of these down. Now, it's early. You need to know these by Friday. Let's start with the yo form. Okay, see if you can jot down the yo form in the past tense of ser and ir. The good news is we know they're both the same in the past tense, so that helps. So somebody want to tell me what the yo form is, and then I'll share that with you, and hopefully maybe if you get the yo form, then the rest will follow a little bit. Sure. Okay, somebody want to tell me what's the yo form? So I went or I was. What is that going to look like? I went or I was. Naya, what are we talking about?
Wouldn't it be I was?
Do you know what the form is in Spanish?
Wait, now I'm confused on the question.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, I'll pass it off to somebody else. So I want to know, what is the yo form for I was or I went in Spanish? What does that verb look like? Bryson?
Yo fui.
There it is. Okay. So I'm going to write it down for you. And then I want you to see, based on this, if you can write down the other ones. All right. So yo form is fui. All right. So I'm going to give you a minute to see if you can write down any of the other forms. If you did your guided grammar yesterday, I would think you should be able to write down a few of these. If you didn't, then it might be harder. All right, by Friday, we need to be able to write these down. So let's see what you can do today on Wednesday. We'll do it again tomorrow. So it does kind of follow a pattern. You can probably guess on the to form if you're not sure. The el form might be hard. The nosotros form you could probably guess on, and you might even be able to guess the ellos form. So take a second. I want you to jot this down somewhere. You don't need to really get out your notes. I just kind of want to see what you know without your notes. Maybe you know some of them, maybe you don't. If you don't, you need to pick up your pace a little bit. All right, I'm going to write down my answers and then we can compare. Like I said, this is our new verb for the week that I need you to make sure you know by Friday. All right, so the yo form was fui. Could anybody tell me the next two forms? What's the you form and the they form? I'm sorry, the he, she form. All right, Bryson, go ahead.
Tu fuiste and él fue.
Perfecto. All right, so I'll show you those. Tu fuiste and él fue. There it is. All right, so we've got fui, fuiste, and fue. You will notice there are no accents on these guys. All right, who's got my last two for me? Who's got my nosotros and my ellos? They're kind of what you would expect. The nosotros one shouldn't be too bad. Noah, what are you thinking?
It's like fumos
Mm-hmm.
and furon.
We'll work on pronunciation, but you got them. All right. So
Wait,
let me
is this
count 'em up.
this is for IL, right?
Well,
Yeah.
this is just for the verbs ser and ear. Okay, so ser is to be, past tense would be was or were, and ear is to go, so past tense would be went. So let me go through them with you. All right, so if I said yo fui a la fiesta, I'd be saying I went to the party. Okay, usually if you're using it as ear, it has a little ah after it because I went to something. All right, if I say la fiesta fue divertida, the party was fun. So I can use it as went or I can use it as was. The forms are exactly the same. Okay, you will notice there are no accents on any of these. And I'm going to go through them right now so you know how to say them. All right, please repitan. Yo fui. Please say it to yourself. Tu fuiste. Say it out loud. Say it under your breath. I don't hear how loud you say it, but say it. Él fue. Nosotros fuimos. Ellos fueron. All right, we got to know these. I guarantee you'll see them on your quiz on Friday. I guarantee you'll see them in your speaking portion of your final. I'll ask you where you went. Okay, and I guarantee you'll see it on the written part. So let's make sure we know them. Okay, I'm going to say them one more time. Please say them with me. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. Okay, you try it. One more time together. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. That's what you need to be able to do. Okay, fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. All right, now here's the deal. If you didn't get these today, no big deal, especially if you had never seen them before. But by tomorrow, your goal when we do this exact same thing should be to be able to write these down. All right, so that should be something you are working towards, especially if you're trying to improve your grade, especially if you're trying to maintain your grade, especially if you're in that DF range and you need to keep yourself in the D range. Okay, so make sure you are working on that verb. All right, so I would like to do one more activity with vocab, and it is a listening activity. There will be several listening activities on your final exam. And the best thing you can do for listening is practice it, but also make sure you know your vocab. Okay, this has to do with our current vocab. So if you're not feeling amazing about it yet, feel free to have your list out. All right, and let's see how we do. All right, so I will share this with you. All you need is a little place to jot down some answers. You really don't need much space. You're just going to write down like ABC. All right, let me pull it up and share it with you. And almost there. Okay. All right. So let me know if you can indeed see this. Can I get a thumbs up? Are you looking at vocabulario and contexto? Yes. Okay. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play through this. So you're just going to listen to it. Your goal as you listen here is just to see how much you can follow. What you can identify. It does a nice little review of some of your key vocab words like la farmacia or el correo, el supermercado, all these places. And then at the end, like I said, we'll do a quick listening activity. So for now, just follow along and see what you can put together and see all the vocab words are in blue. How many of those you would recognize at this time?
Voy a pie a la tienda de equipo deportivo en el centro para comprar una raqueta de tenis. La tienda se abre a las 10 de la mañana y se cierra a las 6 de la tarde. Tengo que caminar rápido porque casi son las 6. Luego voy al correo para enviar una tarjeta. La farmacia. El correo, el buzón, el supermercado, la tienda de equipo deportivo, el sello, la carta, el banco, los patines, la pelota, el palo de golf, la raqueta de tenis. Cobrar un cheque, echar una carta, devolver un libro, sacar un libro. Cuando mi madre está enferma, yo cuido a mi hermana menor. Por ejemplo, ayer tuve que jugar con ella por 2 horas. Nos quedamos en casa hasta que mi mamá regresó del consultorio. Luego fui a la farmacia con mi mamá. La pasta dental. El cepillo de dientes. El jabón. El champú. El dentista. La médica.
Okay. So you should be recognizing a lot of words, a lot of cognates. La médica looks like what it is. El dentista looks like what it is. El champú sounds like what it is. La raqueta de tenis, el palo de golf, la pasta dental. So there should be a lot of words that you've recognized. And then there's a few that you've been working on, right? El buzón, that doesn't look like mailbox, but you've been practicing that. Or el correo may not look like post office, but you've been practicing that. So that's what I mean when I give you time to pick 5 or 10 words that are not cognates. Those are the kinds of words that you should be working on. All right, so what we are going to do is a good little activity here to see how much you can recognize. All right, so this says, escoge el lugar donde se encuentran los objetos. So you're going to hear some objetos, some objects, and you need to decide, like for number 1, are they found at el supermercado, la farmacia, la oficina de correo, or el banco? So obviously you need to know what those 4 things are. First 2, I think, are easy cognates. The last one's kind of a cognate. So this is the only one, la oficina de correo, that you might not know. It is on your vocab list, so you should look at it, or I'll help you. Let's look up here real quick. I just mentioned it a second ago. El correo is right here. What is el correo? Somebody unmute and tell me. El correo?
Dentist office.
Nope. Good try.
Post office.
Can you see it right there? Are you looking at my picture? El
Yeah, I
correo.
was a little behind. That's my bad.
Okay. So the post office, there it is. All right. So you're going to hear words that go along with one of those 4 things. And then you just need to jot down which one. All right. And you'll notice like for the next one, it's the same 4 places. Oh, no, it's not. They added La Tienda de Equipo Deportivo, but it's mostly the same places. All right. So again, have your vocab out if you like. And let's see what we can do. I will play these for you twice. All you need to do is jot down A, B, C, or D, depending upon which location these go with. All right. Here we go.
1. El cheque personal, el dinero, la tarjeta de crédito.
Okay, so they named 3 things. I can't remember them. El cheque, el dinero, something else. So you mark A, B, C, or D if you think that it goes with one of those places better than the others. All right, I'll play them through one more time in a minute. But right now we're going to go on to dos. So similar choices. La tienda de equipo deportivo. Deportivo has to do with deportes. What are deportes? Abdullah.
Sports.
Yeah, so it's like a sports shop. All right. And then we still have Banco, Supermercado, and Correo. Same choices as before.
2. El palo de golf, la raqueta de tenis, la pelota.
Alrighty, here comes numero 3. Here are your 4 choices. You should recognize all of them now.
3. La manzana, la lechuga, el pan.
Okay, make your choice. Here comes numero 4. Similar choices as before.
4. La carta, el buzón, el sello.
All right, last one, I think. Yeah, numero 5, last one.
5. La pasta dental, el jabón, el champú.
All right, so here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to go through them one more time from the top. And as we go through them, then I will be looking for a volunteer, preferably one who has not gone yet today, to get yourself a quick participation point. So I promise I will call on you first if you have not volunteered today. So let's see if we can get at least 5 more people a participation point. So here we go. I'm gonna play it from the beginning. Here was numero 1 one last time.
1. El cheque personal, el dinero, la tarjeta de crédito.
All right, who wants it? El cheque personal, el dinero, tarjeta de crédito. Tucker, what are you thinking?
Banco.
Yep, El Banco, right? Money, checks, credit cards. All have to do with El Banco. Great. Número 2, let me play it one more time.
2. El palo de golf, la raqueta de tenis, la pelota.
All right, Victoria.
A.
A, right? La tienda de equipo deportivo. Something about a golf club, I think a tennis racket, and can't remember, something else sporty like that. Número 3.
3. La manzana, la lechuga, el pan.
All right. Unique, are you up for this one?
A.
Correct. El supermercado. We heard el pan is bread, lechuga, lettuce, and manzana, apple. Great. Número 4.
4. La carta, el buzón, el sello.
What do you think? Carta, buzón, sello. Muta.
C.
C is correct. The post office. Carta, again, sounds like card. Buzón, mailbox, and sello, for S for stamp. Good. Super impressed. Last one.
5. La pasta dental, el jabón, el champú.
All right. What do you think, Zion?
B.
You know, it's not a terrible answer. What's I think they said la pasta dental and el champú. You could get all those things at the supermercado. I couldn't say that's wrong. There's probably another place that's maybe like another kind of more obvious place, but that's not a terrible answer, Zion. I feel you. I see why you said that. Anybody else have a different one, Deja?
D.
Did you say D?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. La Farmacia. So yeah, I think if you have a multiple choice, Zion, not that that was a bad answer at all. Go if it's more like shampoo and like soap or like cosmetic items, go with pharmacy. Not that you couldn't actually get those at the supermarket, but all right. Well, that sounded pretty good. I got a lot of different people volunteering there, so I appreciate that. And let's see. Let's kind of wrap things up here. Did you feel like you did okay on that? Okay, good. All right, so let's see. Things to keep in mind. Number one, please do time on Quizlet tonight. 15 minutes. If you're feeling super nervous and you're trying to get your grade up, do 20 minutes. If you're like, nah, I got this, fine, do 10 minutes, but do something so you're making sure you're getting ready for Friday. Also, if you did not do that guided grammar from yesterday, please take care of that. Okay, again, good practice. You need to know those fui, stay verbs for Friday. So you might as well get credit for doing that practice activity. Finally, missing work. If you got anything, keep getting it to me. All right. I can't do any more than accept it. You have to do the work. I want you to get your points, but you have to turn in your stuff. All right. Don't forget about your opportunity from 10:30 to 11 to check in with any teachers that you need to, myself included. I will have my Zoom open and I will be listening for that dinging sound. So let me know if you need help with anything or you want to go over anything or you have a question about a grade. Keep in touch with your teachers. All right. Otherwise, hasta mañana. Have a great rest of your day.